So I've been in this franchise since maybe like around 12, since I was like 12 years old, and I'm like 25, about to turn 26. So I've been in this franchise for like well over a decade, and unfortunately, I'm at a point now where I generally just do not care about this franchise anymore, for especially for what it has become now, honestly, in a not so good way. I I don't care about this franchise. This is a Where Am I At Now video, part of the series where I'm talking about gaming franchises that I really have a big passion for, and I'll be covering other ones in the series as well as like an updated version. But for Call of Duty, back then I was like a little bit optimistic-ish. I don't care anymore now. I genuinely do not care anymore about what this franchise has to offer. Mostly majority of whatever they do. I really don't. Modern Warfare 19 took all the emotion away from me in this franchise. That was one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life. And I mean wholeheartedly. Both that and 23. Modern Warfare 19 and Modern Warfare 23. Those two games, some of the worst games I've ever played ever, and I don't ever want to touch those games ever again. They suck. And a lot of these games suck. 19 and onwards now, these games just suck. They are incomplete pieces of shit. And if they don't care, I don't as well. To say that this franchise is a roller coaster, it doesn't even hold up, honestly. It's clear as day that they do not care about like the older like fans at this point. They're pretty much catering like to the newer fans that like part of like the same branch of like Fortnite and Apex, really, which both games are fine, but those are like rare cases where it's like those two battle royale games are actually succeeding, and they're still succeeding to this day, still compared to like a lot of the other previous battle royale games that try to like come out, and they pretty much failed because they just could not replicate the success of just Fortnite and Apex. They couldn't just be like their own thing. And it's also the case with Call of Duty, but the other thing with Call of Duty is it's the name Call of Duty. It's going to garner so much money regardless, that either way, even if the mode sucks or not, in this case Warzone, it's going to make bread regardless anyway, even if it's like an incomplete piece of shit, really. It's not for me. I mean, at this point now, Call of Duty really just cares about Warzone with the battle royale season passes, with these absurd looking skins like a 21 Savage or a Nicki Minaj or like a Phineas and Ferb, whoever else, honestly, or like some skins from like that look like from Dark Souls or Elden Rings or Souls-like games. And even the same thing with guns as well, by the way. It's insane. It's insane that this game or franchise has changed so much in like in like a not so good way that yeah. And then when you combine the fact as well that they are so, and by they I'm talking about like Activision as well as the developers like Treyarch, Infinity Ward, especially Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer. They are like I've never seen so tone deaf people in the office until I've seen these companies, bro. It's insane. So it really doesn't surprise me when like a lot of creators are just either doing one of two things: dick riding the hell out of Call of Duty as of now, or they left the scene outright. And if they're leaving the scene, they're either dick sucking another different franchise, or they actually have so much passion for the franchise that they just can't believe what it has become now, and it's like the love is gone, and they're just like, I'm out of here. And I don't blame them. I genuinely don't. This franchise is literally not the same as it used to be back then. I'm well aware of that, and I'm also well aware that it is just not for the people that played like the older games like Black Ops 1, 2, World at War, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. It's not for these people anymore. Even with like the new ports that they did with Black Ops 1 and 2 recently on the PlayStation, even with that, it's like it just doesn't cater to these older players anymore. And it's unfortunate. It generally is, because this franchise used to be like a Goliath of a franchise, and now, and maybe it still is, but it doesn't even feel like that anymore, or at least It don't feel like it because it's just like they don't care about like said OG people anymore. And all right, if they don't care anymore, I don't. I'm out of here. I'm cool with that. Now, that being said, there are things that definitely could help the franchise short term or long term if they want to get back to like their former glory days. Do I think they will do any of this type of stuff? In my opinion, no. I think they're making plenty of money, honestly, from the battle passes and Warzone and stuff. That I can't see that. So let's start off with short term. There's only really one short term thing that they could pretty much do as far as for the franchise goes, and that's remastering old games. And I put this in the short term because remastering old games isn't going to fix the long term problem of what's going on when it comes to them developing these newer games now, as far as why are these games not fully polished out gameplay wise when they come out, or why is there so many things being missing, or why does it look like a certain thing is like rushed, honestly. But at least remastering old games, it can help short-term wise. And I'm talking about games like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. And by the way, speaking of Modern Warfare 2, when I'm talking about remastering old games, I am not talking about the case like in Modern Warfare 2 where they did just a campaign remaster. That was dumb. That was stupid. If you're worried about sales for like your new games, and being impacted by these older games, make it better, or just isolate it to where you just have like a remaster for that year and that alone, honestly. But it shouldn't just be a campaign remaster. That was stupid. It should be a full game, and they can still do add the multiplayer in one day and finally change that around. But it's a matter of if they would. But yeah, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, the OG ones. I think remastering old games and make sure they're good. They can't just remaster it and not put like actual love into it. It actually has to be good remasters, because I don't know what it is, but whenever a lot of these gaming producers and companies whatnot want to like remaster old games, it's like almost a coin flip if they're going to be good or not, honestly. These have to be good. These are OG games that a lot of people have a lot of love for. You can't like just mess these up, honestly. Now, I'm almost certain if anyone's gonna be remastering them, is most likely gonna be like Raven, and then maybe like certain help from like certain other developer or like one of the developers, but most likely gonna be like Raven, like how they did with Modern Warfare Remastered back when Infinite Warfare came out. I wouldn't mind if they remastered these older games. And by the way, I am well aware that they did the ports for Black Ops 1 and 2, and I don't know how they are going, how is it going as far as like developer communication to the players. I haven't really checked into that because, like I said, I generally don't care, but it's a start. It's a start, I will say that though, yeah. But that's short term. Now, when it comes to long term, these especially I don't see them doing, but these are the ones that would help out the most long term if they want to keep going about this. Number one, there needs to be a complete reset in Activision as developers, and then Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward as developers outright. And I'm talking about a complete reset from the start to the very bottom. I don't see that happening because, again, money, they're making money. They wouldn't have a reason to, and I feel like even if they were to just like give this like a CEO was to give this company to like a different CEO coming up, it will probably be someone to their liking, and maybe someone that's kind of aligns with like their thinking really, and not like one that actually has common sense, if that makes sense. But these people that are in the office now are clearly do not have passion for gaming, and these are definitely not the same people as back then, or if they are, they definitely changed for the worse, honestly. So yeah, I don't see that ever happening about if they ever did a reset. If they did though, that would be great. The reset obviously would need to have like people with talent that actually care about it though. But like I said, I don't see that happening. And a lot of those people that have like talents for like video games, I don't see them coming to them as well, because and this goes for like a lot of like other the gaming developers as well, is they make like these top games and then they pretty much just boot them out. Like recently, we just found out about the EA thing actually, where the CEO is like making bank off of the success of Black Ops 6, but they also kicked out. They fired a bunch of like those workers, the developers working on it, so they can make that revenue back up on it. And it's like, well, why would I even want to like join these companies? And it's the same thing in Call of Duty. It's like, you're not gonna get like the crazy bit of talent if you're not going to like what's the best way to say about this? If they don't show that they don't care about the workers, which is very clear as day that, especially with Activision, they don't, you're not gonna get like the biggest talents. That's kind of also a big reason why I say that there needs to just be like a big reset. One, just for them, but two, so they could just restart, have a clean slate on everything pretty much. The second thing is better communication between the devs as far as like updates not carrying over to like the next game via different developers. For anybody that is unaware, we have three main developers. We have Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward. Sometimes certain updates will not carry over to a next game. Now, I can't think of any outright because, like I said, it's been a hot minute, but I'll just do like a random example. Let's say like back then when Modern Warfare 19 did not have like an actual mini map with red dots, and let's say Black Ops Cold War, we finally starting to see like actual gameplay, and for whatever reason we don't have a mini map with red dots. We complain about that for months, and then we get like the next games for the next year with details and stuff, and it's like the complete opposite. It's like we're back to square one again. And that goes for like a lot of like the big and small stuff with like a lot of these games from different developers, and it's kind of annoying because it's like it's like they're trying to like fight each other of like, let's make a game better than these other developers. Which cool, there's competition. At the same time, though, you kind of want to at least like listen to. You kind of need to just read the room of like, if we were going off at these certain developers for like certain things, you probably wouldn't want to do the exact same thing with your game. So that's kind of what I mean about better communications, because it's like you do like these updates for one game and they don't carry over to the next game. And I think that's just like really, really dumb as well. The third thing is, this one is like, I definitely don't see this ever happening. Better communication to the or not better communication, but just being way more involved with the community, especially and specifically those that critique the franchise. I don't know what it is nowadays about anybody that critiques a game or any form of entertainment, that the people that created said product have to get so entitled and so butthurt that they're getting actual critical feedback that they gotta block them and shame them online. It's ridiculous. If there's criticism, at least take into the criticism and see, hey, this actually could mean something. Let's look into it. Why do we have to like block all of that stuff out? Anything can. Holy cow. Call of Duty is not the perfect. Even back then in its golden age, Call of Duty was not perfect. If you give it criticism, constructive criticism, and you actually take it and work on it, you're gonna make your products better. I don't know why is that so hard of a thing to think of, and why does everybody gotta be so sensitive if it's like saying something like, hey, your red dot site is glitching. Well, and then they get butthurt about that. Something like that. Like, it's stupid, honestly. It's just real crazy how even like smaller, big stuff, they will get very butthurt by people giving out constructive criticism. And that's kind of one of the things where I was like, I don't think they'll actually take that into consideration. But it's something they're gonna have to look into if they want to actually get back to its former glory days. And then the other thing is just, we got to get away from this yearly release thing. If they want to be a live service game like Fortnite and Apex Legends, then just be one. Have like a literal live service Call of Duty game, and that's it, and just have all the developers working on it. And you can still monetize like crazy from it. Again, look at all these, look at Fortnite and Apex on how they're doing revenue-wise. They can do it. And again, this is Call of Duty. You're gonna make your money regardless. It's in y'all's name, literally. I think moving away from a yearly release would just solve a lot of problems, because we don't have to worry about trying to force back in square one of like put this stuff out as far as like release content goes, and that way they can actually just start focusing on like core main problems, so that way it doesn't be happening anymore. Honestly, do I think any of these long-term changes will ever happen? No, I generally don't, and I don't ever see them happening. But that's pretty much all I could pretty much think of. If you think of other things that they can definitely start, that the things that could help out the franchise long-term or short-term, definitely let me know in the comments. If there's any YouTubers, I'm just gonna end this off here. If there's any YouTubers I recommend just checking out, honestly, as far as like Call of Duty stuff goes, I really only recommend 3. As far as I know, Blame Truth, Mr. Waffle Waffles, and Nero Cinema. All 3 I'll link down in the comments or in the description. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't care about this franchise. I pretty much dropped it, and I don't care anymore. They don't care about OG fans. Alright, say less. And they also don't want to put like actual passion into these games. Say less. I'm done. I was already tuned out of this franchise once I played Modern Warfare 19 and Modern Warfare 23, especially 23. But I'm done now. I genuinely am. The only time you'll like ever see me play less on Call of Duty nowadays is if it's like free from the PlayStation free month, or it's a beta that's free, and that's it. So I'm pretty much done. And yeah, if you enjoyed this little rant discussion I had, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for the support in my previous video where I've officially returned back on this platform after a bit of years. And yeah, the next one will basically be me talk about where am I at now with the Assassin's Creed franchise. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.